All right, Joe, welcome. First question that fans want to know is, how are you? How are you and your family coping during this COVID-19 crisis?
Well, my family and I are doing well. We're coping well. It is a very difficult time, different circumstances. And, we're lucky and fortunate that we're all, staying safe, staying healthy. Everyone in my family, parents, brother, his family. So just trying to sort of, not go stir crazy, make sure we get out, exercise. And with my two sons, Ben and Jack, just making sure they sort of stay as upbeat as you can, during this time. So it's obviously nice to be together. And you don't always have all this time together, but then it's just making sure that we're doing the right things. And hopefully soon we'll all be able to get out to Colorado.
Hopefully sooner than later, that's for sure. It's an interesting situation with you because you were here before, won a championship here, and you've left and you're coming back. And I'm not sure how many, I didn't do the research to know how many college coaches have done that, but this is amazing. But what is your favorite memory of the first time you were here, those 4 years that you spent at the academy?
Well, I mean, much my favorite memory from the first time is a very hard question, just because, in some ways, a unique set of circumstances, to come there 22 consecutive non-winning seasons, uh, digging out from that. We have so many stories of that we laugh about, that my staff and I and the players, that we went through something that was really pretty unbelievable. I mean, from start to finish. And we had an unbelievable shared experience there. And again, staff and staff administration, the fans, we had an unbelievable shared experience, and with the players. I mean, so to pick one, is really difficult for me. I mean, if I picked, and these will be basketball ones specifically, I have other ones that are people ones, that we had this shared thing with the team, or we laugh, but I'm going to go straight with two basketball memories, actually three. And they were all in 2004. And the first one that I bring up often is at Utah, possibly tied or down one at Utah. We all see people today don't remember Utah, and Utah was in the Mountain West. And now they're in the Pac-12. Boy, oh boy, they moved to, say a bigger conference. And they had won the league, I believe, 10 consecutive years. Majerus, I mean, they were a machine. And, we almost used them as part of our model to say, we got to beat them. That means we got to be better than them at what they do, which was already our model anyhow. But they really held it out and gave us something to shoot for. And we were at their place, down one, tied, their ball. And I remember the names of it, Drisdom, Drove, and we played great D. And it might have been nicked, not nicked, but Tim Keller punched the ball out of the air. And he punched it, and it went right to Joel Gerlach. And Gerlach went in for a breakaway layup, and they fouled him. And there was 2 seconds left. And Gerlach had to go to the line, and I just remember bringing the team over. How much time's left? All the things that happened at that time. There was a stoppage in play, and I brought the whole team together. And we all just huddled up. And the whole purpose was the huddle to just look at Joel and say, all right, Joel, we worked our butt off for this moment, and you're going to make both. And I know you're going to make both. And he went to the line and made both. And we won. And when we walked off the court, the fans were booing us. They'd always cheered us when they'd beaten us. Now they were booing us. So that was one. Another one involves Gerlach again. We were at home against New Mexico. And I just remember envisioning, as we're in first place, and I'm envisioning, and we're up one. And they had this guy, Mark Walters, again. How do I remember Mark Walters? He was on the other team, and he was a big-time athlete, and he drove the baseline. I remember watching, going, oh, we're going to lose. You know what I mean? Like, he's going in for a dunk, and Gerlach came out of nowhere and wiped the shot away and won the game for us. And then the other one is we were playing UNLV at home, and they had this guy Blasingame, Terrell Blasingame. He was beating us all by himself. We couldn't stop him. It was, you know, he scored, I don't know how many points he had. We couldn't stop him. We were in a timeout huddle, and I was just trying to come up with anything to the guys. I like, guys, we're okay. They're playing 1-on-5. So eventually we'll be okay. I just hope within the 40 minutes. They're playing 1-on-5. We're playing with 5. So we're going to be fine. And ultimately, I don't know if we ever stopped them, but it was our ball, I think down 1 or tied with 10 seconds to go. Didn't call a timeout. Our guys came down, executed like you couldn't believe, got the ball into A.J. Cool, and he made a post move, and N1 got fouled, and we ended up winning that game in the last 5 seconds. And it was just, for me, the memory of just watching those guys know exactly what to do without having to call a timeout. Just knowing they knew what to do. The ball went where we wanted to go, got a 3-point play and won the game. And I think, you know, those things that I just said embody what that team was. They were a team. Different guys, Tim Keller, Joel Gerlach, A.J. Cool. I could say the other names. They were all one, where they all knew exactly what they were going to do at those moments. And, you know, it all led to then San Diego State coming in and us winning the Mountain West Championship and clinching it with 1 game left.
Those are some.
Long answer, but I enjoy talking about it.
Of course you do. Of course you do. And those were a lot of exciting moments, and there are many you didn't even talk about. But I guess the fans want to know, what are you most excited about coming back now? What excites you the most about this opportunity?
Well, what excites me the most about this opportunity is, one, the opportunity to work with the current players and build a team and build a team that is a team, you know, that has an identity and a mentality. And when our fans and all of us look out at that team, they know that's our team. You know, those are our guys, man. Look at how tough they are, how hard they play. So I'm obviously excited about that. I'm also just excited about working with the people at the academy again, being on the same team again with the people at the academy. I really am excited to be on the same team with Frank Serratori. I mean, I'm really excited to be on the same team with Troy Calhoun. I'm really excited to be on the team with Brian German. You know, Troy Garnhart. Jim. It really, you know, motivates me because I know who they are. I know what they stand for. I know those are the people that I want to and we want to be around and do this together with. And that doesn't mean we're going to win every game. No, it means we know what we're going to do, and we're going to do it with the right people, and we're going to do it together. And if usually, you know, what I've found through my experience is when you do things that way, that's when things turn out the right way. So I'm really excited, most excited for that. And I could say more people, you know what I mean? And I'm just saying the ones that come to my head right now, but there are more people that are at the academy that I'm excited to be doing that with be on the same team with them again.
Definitely. You mentioned you're walking in, you're inheriting some players. You remember what you inherited in 2000 when you came here. Can you compare, contrast? Can you even talk to what you're inheriting now compared to what you got then as far as players are concerned?
Well, comparing 2000 to 2020, I could do that. The problem is under the current set of circumstances, I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because I haven't even been able to begin to coach our players. So, and that's really the essence of being able to make that comparison. I told one of our current players coming back, you know, they asked about, you know, do you watch film, coach? And what do you know about us? And, well, yeah, I do. But to be honest, I'm not basing any determination on this group of guys off of what I see on film. I'm going to base it off of everything that I see and feel from them when I get to coach them. When they're listening to me and our other coaches and seeing their response to that and seeing their body language and their ability to stick with things and stay with things and learn and grow, then I'll be able to make that comparison, you know. So, you know, we touched on a little bit earlier. I think one thing is it was 22 consecutive non-winning seasons then. It's not that now. That being said, I think it is a certain number, you know. So first and foremost is going to be built, you know, re-energizing, getting back to building a winning mentality. You know, like I've said before, we're playing to win. We want to have successful seasons. You know, we all know that in sports, you know, that's based upon, you know, what your record is at the end of a year. I mean, there are other gauges for success, no doubt. And we're going to be using those gauges to develop our processes for measuring our improvement. But ultimately, we all know there's the one of, well, what was your record? And ultimately, for us, it's getting back to that mentality of we're playing to win. We're playing to win every time we step out on that court. When the 40 minutes goes up on the clock at the beginning of the game, like I've said before to my prior teams, you know, when the 40 minutes goes up, the other team does not care that we have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. The other team doesn't care. We don't get, Air Force is up 10-0 to start this game tonight, because they take really a very demanding and a very good curriculum of classes. You know, I mean, right. That's what it is. We know that. That's who we are. That's what we do. So then therefore we have to develop that mentality where when we step out on that court, from the time the ball, when we get between those black lines, we know we're playing to win. We know what that means for us. And that's going to be, you know, how we judge our progress is just on seeing how quick can we get to that, you know. And then I think ultimately that'll provide the answer to comparing 2000 to 2020.
You brought it up, the difference at the academy. And so there was a question from a fan that wants to know how you instill the Air Force core values into your coaching. As you know, that's, you know, integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Can you speak to that?
Well, I mean, the core values of the Air Force Academy are, you know, to me, the core values of what a really good team is in general. I mean, it's a definition of what makes a really good team. So we're playing, you know, and I've always said this, I mean, for whatever, that's what I believe in. It's who I am. I mean, so, you know, service before self, I mean, that's called being on a team. We know there's something greater going on here than ourselves. Excellence in all we do only comes, you know, or oftentimes comes from the first two: service before self and integrity in all we do. You know, that's integrity has a lot of meanings. It means we really care about what we do. We really care about the core of what our mission is on all levels, you know. And I think for us, what we do is we teach that. We care about education. We care that our players do, I call it, do what they're supposed to do in school. What is it? Well, that they value their opportunity. They value their education. They're going to do what they're supposed to do. They're going to turn their papers in on time. They're going to be prepared. You know, and then service before self just means, well, you're on a team. I mean, you're giving, like the old proverb, you know, the more you give, the more you get. I mean, that's called being on a team. I'm going to give and give and give. And the coaches are going to give and give and give to the players, and the players are going to give and give to the coaches and each other. And we're on our way to the last one, excellence in all we do. Our players are going to learn what that means in terms of the X's and the O's, but there's going to be an overriding theme of, I know there's something more than the X and the O, because it really comes down to who is the X and who is the O and what are their values inside of them. And when we have the right guys believing and behaving in the right things in the right way, boy, do those X end up in the right spot when he's on defense. Boy, is the O in the right spot on offense. So we really focus on those things and teach those things in how we play basketball.
That's awesome. There was another question about what you look for in potential recruits. So having been here and recruited for the 4 years that you were here, can you speak to the type obviously you already have with the values that you're looking for in a player, but maybe basketball wise, what are you looking for?
Well, from a recruiting standpoint, the values of the basketball pieces that the question is about. I mean, that's always front and center in this whole process. You know, we're going to recruit basketball players who have what we believe is the mental makeup, the intestinal fortitude makeup that's going to be required for us to be successful in the Mountain West. And then obviously, and then school. But obviously that comes with, there's a basketball component of, you know, they have to meet sort of certain criteria, you know, and obviously I think everybody, you know, we're playing basketball. We're looking for guys who, you know, I got to say this, I believe, you know, I think most of our Air Force fans know, you know, the dribbling, the passing, the shooting, the value of that. You know, I think maybe in 2000, that was a little novel, you know, that, you know, and Pete Carrill probably was way ahead of his time in terms of 6'9" and 6'10" guys dribbling the ball and passing it and inverting your offense. And obviously, I think people now know he was ahead of his time because when he left Princeton, he went in the NBA, and now the NBA is all using nothing but Pete Carrill, you know, our concepts. So for me, those things are still front and center. But I've actually flipped a little bit in terms of, in this day and age, you know, we need to have guys that have big time motors. We need to have 18-year-old kids that understand there's a joy in playing this game. You know, I call it play the game. Those words there's a definition to the word play. You know, and the definition has corresponding behaviors and actions to it. Same with game, you know, and play means there's a joy, there's a smile. You know, if you go watch a bunch of kids playing at the playground and there's no adults around, you'll see a lot of joy. You'll see smiling and laughing and you diving in the dirt and nothing's that. There's a joy to it. That's what playing means. Well, I want to recruit a kid who plays, and he plays the whole time he's on the court. And again, I think that goes a little bit to body language and demeanor. A kid who's playing, he's got great body language and demeanor. A kid who's not playing, boy, do you see bad body. So I don't even talk about your body language. And again, it's a positive. We coach from the positive. We talk about playing. We're not going to say, hey, that's bad body language. No. We're going to teach play, joy, because one of the corollaries of offsets of that is good body language, because all of your energy is going into playing. And that's required to be successful in basketball. And the game means something. It means we're keeping score. How are we going to beat them? We got to figure it out. It's us against them. That's what game means. It means use your brain. It means use your brain. So at all times, we're going to use, right, our physical, the playing part. And at all times, we're going to use the mental, because we're playing to win. They're trying to do this. We're not going to let them. We're doing this. We're going to try to fake them out and not let them know we're doing it. And we're going to be strong at using our brains. And that is what, to me, Air Force is. That's what the academy is. We're going to use both at all times. And again, I'm really going to be searching for that in our recruiting. Who plays the game when we watch them play? Who's playing? Who knows what the score is? Who's so locked into playing, you know, and not while the game's going on saying, look at me, I did this. That's not what it's about. And we're going to be using both of those, the skill parts and then these things, to really guide us in our recruiting.
Okay. There's a few questions on here. I'm going to sum them all up in like one. It's X's and O's, and I don't want, obviously you're not going to tell us exactly what you're going to be doing, but one question is about how the offensive scheme that people have known you run, the Pete Carrill things, how that works with a shorter shot clock, which wasn't here when you were here before. And then on defense, there a mention of, are you going to run a matchup zone? How do you play defense, even though with the shot clock, it's obviously going to be a higher scoring game? And I'll just let you go. What, offensively and defensively, speak what kind of team you'll have.
Well, I think to what kind of team we'll be on offense and defense, you know, X's and O's wise, you know, with a shorter shot clock, say offensively, but it goes both ways. And again, I think the main thing is there isn't this offensive thing and then there's this defensive thing. It's we play basketball as one. Our offense helps our defense helps our offense. I've said this before, you know, the 5 guys that are down here playing offense who are playing together so well and are so cohesive and are so sharing of that ball and working together. Well, those are skill parts. You have to have that, but they're also life parts. There are certain kinds of character traits at work there. Those same 5 guys go down and play defense, and they're going to exhibit those same character traits. You know, so again, I think that's what's most important is we're going to play in a sort of, I guess the word would be symbiotic way where our offense is going to go with our defense and our defense is going to go with our offense. Our players are going to know that. The dots are going to connect for our players that way. They're basically doing the same things on both ends of the court. On one end, they just happen to be on defense. On the other end, but they're doing the same things. They're thinking the same way. They're seeing the game the same way. You know, from a shot clock perspective offensively, you know, our fans will see us playing in a way where I don't know anymore with that shot clock. And I'll just say it within this terminology. I don't know if you can control the game as much anymore with your offense because of that shot clock. But you can control it this way by being very efficient at what you do, by being really good at what you do, and knowing exactly what that is and then doing it really quickly. And so I came up with what I call play fast. So you'll be seeing similar things that everybody recognizes, but our theme and how we do everything is play fast. And what does that mean for us? What's fast mean for us? How efficient are we going to be that way? How fast is that ball going to move? How fast are our players going to move? How fast does the ball get down the court? Because in this day and age, that's how you have to play offensively. But I think the most important thing is and remains, you have to be really good at what you do. You have to know exactly what you do. You have to be really good at getting your players to know exactly what it is. You have to be able to teach it really well, and you have to be able to have a method to teach it that makes sense to them so they can get really good at it, and I know we do. On the defensive end, I think what will happen is I do believe in this day and age that with the shot clock, that is still where you can control the game. You can make the other team play the way that you want them to play still. And the way that we're going to concentrate on that is, and there will be a big difference, I think, for our players is we are going to play defense every possession. Every possession. We are not going to give up easy baskets. We are not going to give up easy shots. We are not going to let the other team feel good about themselves. That doesn't mean they're not going to score. But we're going to play in a way where our players know that we are controlling this game with our defense, right? And everybody knows that defense starts with transition defense. And we're going to pride ourselves on you are not getting easy baskets on us. And that, again, goes to the whole mentality thing and the whole we're playing to win thing. And that is going to be sort of the foundation for how we play on both ends of the court. And it's going to make a lot of sense to our players because what I started with, it's all going to go together for them. And then, you know, in the way that we teach it now, which is going to be different, things are going to click for our players. And then we all know when things start to click, what it starts to look like. And I'm looking forward to being able to start that process with our players.
The Mountain West, the question is, how does Air Force stack up to other Mountain West schools? And obviously for you, it's different now because you mentioned already Utah, BYU, those two are out, you know, but now you know, San Diego State is the power it seems now. Boise's right up there, and there's several good teams still in the Mountain West. What do you have to say about it?
Well, there's no question the Mountain West is a very good league. And I think that's all you have to say. The Mountain West is a really good league. It doesn't matter what team you say to me, and our players are going to learn this. It doesn't matter what team you say to our players. Every team in this league is really good. Every team in this league is going to require everything that we have in our hearts, in our heads, and our bodies, every game. And we're going to have to be prepared that way. It doesn't matter, you know, New Mexico. It doesn't matter Boise State. It doesn't matter Nevada. It doesn't matter to us. We're going to have that mentality. What's going to matter to us is us. we're going to matter to us, and this is how we have to play, and this is what we have to be ready to do. And we got to be ready to do it every game, every possession. And I'll go beyond that and say, and it's going to be non-conference. We got to be that way non-conference. And that's going to be the process for our players to learn that, this is what Air Force basketball is. And again, it's going to be about us, because the challenge in this league, right, is going to be night in, night out. Night in, night out. It's just going to be a different colored jersey with a different coach standing over there with a different set of players. But for us, it's got to be the same every game so that we can get to the point where we have that kind of consistency.
A lot is made about the Commander-in-Chief's trophy in football, and that football every year is trying to win that trophy by beating Army and Navy. What are your thoughts on your basketball team? Obviously, you want to win every game. Are those games more important? How does that stack up in your mind, those Service Academy games?
Well, I mean, we don't have a Commanders-in-Chief trophy in basketball. So right there, I think it says there are rivals, because there are, I don't know if you call them sister school, whatever you would call them, there are rivals. There's an unbelievable amount of respect for them. When we play them, that will be a big game, because there are rivals. It's Army, it's Navy. But like I've said before, our challenge is different. We're in the Mountain West we just talked about. We're playing to become a successful program in the Mountain West. That's our conference, right? So we have to focus on that. And I really believe that as we build and grow and get better, our best way to measure ourselves against Army and Navy and those rivalries is to get good in the Mountain West. We improve and get good in the Mountain West. That's the best recipe for us being able to then be ready to go play against Army and Navy. And that's how we're going to approach it. And hopefully going forward, I know we've been playing Army. Hopefully we keep playing Army. I've spoken with their coach. I hope we can keep playing them. I hope we start to play Navy again. I think would be good. In the past, when I was here, we played Navy, but we didn't play Army. Now we're playing Army, but we don't play Navy. When can we get it together? But most importantly, I think that what that says is we're in the Mountain West. We got to be concentrating on being good in the Mountain West, and that's going to help us when those time comes that we play Army and Navy.
Makes sense. Just a couple more. Well, one more, and then a fun one for you. But first, how in your mind can you excite cadets to get them to come to the game? I know other coaches have gone up during at Mitchell Hall and talked to them there and said, "Hey, we need you to come out." What in your mind? How can you invigorate cadets to come to basketball games?
I mean, I have experience of being there, so I don't think there's any one way, any answer. Like you said, you go up in Mitchell Hall. The way I know is actually to take everything we just talked about this whole time, which has been really fun for me to be able to talk about these things and share these things, but to take them all and work on those things every day and build a team that exemplifies those things that we've talked about and concentrate on that every day and make sure that that product is representative of who we are as an institution, that we are out on that court representing Air Force, the Air Force Academy and Air Force, and it means something. And to go out on that court and build this program that way and make sure that when you watch us play, that's what you see. And I think when you concentrate on that, we're concentrating on our core mission then, which is what's most essential. And I believe that that's what everybody, when they see it, they know it. And the cadets, when they see it, they will know it. And most importantly, what that'll do for them is it'll just turn them on. They'll be like, yeah, that's our team. And they will want to be there. They will want to cheer. Is that going to be a process? Yes. But I wholeheartedly, and I think our players, I said this before, we're, just because you play basketball at Air Force, we're no better than anybody. Our guys might be different than another cadet because they're playing basketball, but that cadet's different because that cadet's doing what he's at the academy to do. And we are going to have such respect for that because we're all one team. We're all one team. And that's part and parcel of building a program that way, because when you do it that way, right, that's when those cadets come and they know they're on our team, and we know they're on our team, and we know that we're together. And I think that's how I'm going to approach it. And if we do it that way, then I know we're concentrating on the right things. And most importantly, I believe the cadets, right, and the fans know we're concentrating on the right things.
Exactly. This is just exciting to hear your vision and everything, Joe. And I know that people who knew you from before know that you're your wife, Leah, and know your two sons, Jack and Ben. So I guess one question was, who wins one-on-one between Jack and Ben?
Well, Ben's my older one, and thankfully, Leah was blessed with 5'10", blessed with good genes. So, Ben is 6'3", Jack's 6'3", so they're even that way. Ben, though, is rugged. he's probably got Leah's father, Don, their grandfather on Leah's side. He was like a Navy guy who was a bull, 6'2" bull. So Ben's got a little bit of that. Jack, on the other hand, has 6'3", long, loosey-goosey, not there. So Jack, from a basketball standpoint, is, skill-wise better. Ben has a great understanding of the game. He had a great senior year in high school this year. So it really is going to come down to style of play. It's going to come down to shot clocks and style of play.
Okay.
That's
You're
my
not answering the
political answer. It's my political answer, because if I give an answer, boy, am I going to hear it from Ben and Jack.
Okay, well, then maybe this is a better question. Do you beat them both one-on-one?
Well, gone are the days. Gone are the days where physically I can handle Ben, physical strength-wise, and gone are the days when I can handle Jack speed-wise, speed and skill-wise. So I don't even go there anymore. So they've never beaten me, Brian.
That's good. That's good. They've never
There's no more games.
That's awesome. Well, Joe, thanks for taking the time, and thanks for answering these questions from the fans. I really appreciate your time, and they appreciate it. And I know that there are many, many people here that are excited for you to get back here, and obviously concerned and making sure that you get here safely, but they're excited that you'll be here and be here shortly and start to build the program again.
Well, I appreciate it, Brian. Leah, Ben, Jack, and I are unbelievably excited to get out there. Hopefully it's going to be soon. Hopefully everybody keeps staying safe, and we can't wait to get out there to see all the familiar faces and be there and be one and start this journey together.